WSBT 22's Asher Bookspan starts us off here from the live desk. Asher, you spoke with a South Bend man who moved to Israel more than 15 years ago about alarming acts of terror there in recent days.
He described what the last 4 days have been like as a nightmare, calling it the most brutal, sophisticated, and strategic attack he has ever seen on Israel. South Bend native Dan Feferman has been living in Israel since 2005. He lives about 45 minutes from the Gaza Strip. He's also an experienced military man, serving in the Israeli Defense Force for 8 years as a career officer. Feferman says that even when he served in the IDF, he has never seen an attack so brutal from the Hamas organization.
You see people executing families at point-blank range, killing children in front of their parents, dragging away mothers with babies in their arms into captivity. I mean, this is exactly the kind of stuff we saw when ISIS was committing its genocide just a few years ago.
Feferman comparing the shock of the surprise attacks to 9/11, saying Israelis were watching the events occur in real time. He says when the first strikes hit, the severity of what was happening did not sink in immediately. What normally would have been minutes in the shelter turned to hours listening to thousands of rockets fired by Hamas.
This was 3 hours in the shelter with constant booms and the building shaking and kind of realizing something different was going on. And only then, once we all started turning on the news, did we realize the nightmare, the absolute nightmare.
Feferman says he hasn't had damage in his immediate area, but he says watching the unprecedented attack on his country has been horrible.
We've lived with terror for a long time in this country. We've lived with unspeakable Islamist terror from Hamas and from Islamic Jihad for a long time. This is just on a magnitude that we could never have imagined, and we're just all seeing this unfold before our eyes.
Feferman says even among all the war and tragedy, seeing Israelis coming together to support each other is a heartening sight. At the live desk, I'm Asher Bookspan, WSBT 22 News.